Your male cat stares at you from across the room, and you've always assumed it was random. Boredom, maybe, hunger, that blank cat thing. But a 2024 study out of Kyoto University just reframed what that moment actually means. That gaze isn't random, it isn't blank, and once you understand what's driving it, you'll never see him the same way again. 1. Why he never really grew up. You know that thing he does. Tears across the house at full speed for no reason, launches himself at a toy he's owned for 3 years like it's brand new, then looks at you like nothing happened. He's not being ridiculous. He's being exactly who he is. Male cats mature socially and emotionally at a much slower rate than females. A female cat tends to settle into a calmer, more measured personality over time, especially after her first heat cycle. She grows up. Your boy? Not so much. And if he was neutered young, that playful, curious energy gets preserved even deeper. His brain stays tuned to novelty and play in a way that just doesn't fade with age. Here's the part that actually got me. Neurologically, this isn't immaturity, it's a feature. Male cats have brains that remain highly responsive to new stimuli well into their senior years. That 2 a.m. Zoomy session isn't a sign he hasn't grown up, it's a sign his brain never lost its capacity for wonder. Not every male cat is a chaos agent. Some boys are quiet and serious from day one, and that's completely normal. But that base-level playfulness, that refusal to be completely dignified, that's in the biology. Hold on to something for later in this video. That playful brain of his is connected to something deeper in his physical health. Something most owners don't think about until it's already a crisis. We'll get there. Right now, just sit with this. Your boy isn't stuck in a permanent kitten phase because something's wrong with him. He's there because, on some level, that's exactly where he belongs. Drop kitten or boss in the comments. I want to know which one your guy is. 2. He looks at you differently. Think about the last time your cat locked eyes with you from across the room, held your gaze, didn't look away. You probably felt something in that moment, like it meant something. You were right. In 2024, researchers at Kyoto University published a study in Scientific Reports that did something no one had done before. They looked at how oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the same one involved in human attachment, affects the way cats interact with people. They administered oxytocin to 30 cats and recorded what happened. Male cats responded with a significant increase in how long they gazed at humans. Female cats showed no meaningful change at all. Let that land for a second. The same neurochemical that deepens the bond between a mother and her newborn. That's what's firing in your male cat when he looks at you. He's not staring because he's bored. He's doing it because something in his biology is pulling him toward you. This is the part that separates how your male cat experiences you from how a female cat might. It's not that female cats don't bond, they absolutely do. But this specific mechanism, this oxytocin-driven gaze, appears to be wired differently in males. There's something in him that reaches toward human connection in a way that's chemically distinct. So the next time he's watching you from the arm of the couch doing nothing, seemingly for no reason, that's not nothing. That's him, doing the one thing his biology is quietly pushing him to do. 3. His left paw reveals his emotions. Next time your cat reaches for something, a toy, a treat, your hand, watch which paw he leads with. Because that tiny detail is telling you something real about how his brain is organised. Researchers at Queen's University Belfast studied 44 cats in their own homes over several months. Not in a lab. At home, during normal daily life. They tracked which paw each cat used when stepping downstairs, reaching for food, stepping over objects. The pattern that emerged was consistent and clear. Male cats showed a strong preference for their left paw. Females leaned right. This matters more than it sounds. In neuroscience, which side of the body an animal favours tells you which hemisphere of the brain is dominant. Left paw preference means the right hemisphere is running the show, and the right hemisphere is the side more deeply connected to emotional processing, stress responses and threat detection. Your boy isn't just left-pawed, he's wired to feel things more intensely. A 2017 follow-up from the same research group found that left-pawed animals tend to show stronger reactions to stressful or unfamiliar situations. They're more alert, more reactive, more emotionally present, for better and for worse. This is also why your male cat might seem more sensitive than you expected. More rattled by change, More attached to routine, he's not being difficult. His brain is just running hotter on the emotional side. Watch which paw he leads with tonight. It's a small window into a big interior life. 4. The number that changes everything. I want to give you a number, just one, and I want you to actually sit with it. 3.67 years. That's the median lifespan of an intact male cat, a male cat who was never neutered. According to a study that analysed 3,108 cats over 30 years at a veterinary teaching hospital. Not a small sample, not a short window, 30 years of data. The median lifespan of a neutered male cat in that same study, 9.84 years, nearly 3 times longer. And a separate analysis by Banfield Pet Hospitals, covering 460,000 cats, found that neutered males live 62% longer than their intact counterparts on average. 62%. That's not a small adjustment. That's almost a different life. The reasons stack up fast. Neutering eliminates testicular cancer entirely. It sharply reduces the risk of prostate disease. It dramatically lowers the chance of contracting FIV and feline leukemia, diseases spread through the bite wounds that come with territorial fighting, and it reduces the compulsion to roam, which means fewer cars, fewer predators, fewer nights you spend wondering where he is. Some owners hesitate. They feel like they're taking something from him. That instinct comes from a good place. It really does. But what the data keeps showing, across study after study, is that what neutering takes away is mostly what's going to get him killed. The single most impactful thing you can do for his life is also the most straightforward. That's rare. Most things aren't that clear. 5. The warning you can't afford to miss. Remember that playful brain I mentioned in section 1? The one wired for wonder, for curiosity, for permanent kittenhood? Here's the other side of that coin. The one nobody wants to talk about, but every male cat owner needs to know. Your boy's urethra, the tube that carries urine out of his body, is long and narrow, significantly more so than a female cat's. Think of it like a drinking straw versus a garden hose. And that difference in anatomy makes him uniquely vulnerable to something called a urethral blockage, where crystals, mucus, or inflammatory material plug that narrow tube completely. When that happens, he can't urinate at all. And here's where it becomes an emergency. A complete blockage kills within 24 to 48 hours. Kidney failure sets in fast. There's no waiting to see if it resolves. A study tracking over 237,000 male cats in the UK found that nearly 30% of blockage cases ended in death, most of them through euthanasia when the situation became unrecoverable. The warning signs are specific. Watch for him straining in the litter box and producing nothing, or only drops, crying out while trying to go, licking his lower abdomen obsessively, sudden lethargy, hiding, refusing food. Any one of these and you go to the vet that day, not tomorrow, that day. Prevention is straightforward. Wet food over dry, a water fountain he'll actually use, a clean litter box that makes him want to go regularly. Small habits, enormous stake. He can't tell you when something's wrong, that part is on you. 6. Built tough, wired for you. Look at an unneutered male cat's face sometime. Really look at it. That broad jaw, those thick cheeks, that almost comically wide head. That's not extra weight. That's called stud jowls, and testosterone builds them deliberately. Thickened skin layered over the jaw and neck, forming a kind of natural body armour for the fights that intact males constantly find themselves in. It protects the throat, the eyes, the places a rival would go for first. After neutering, the testosterone drops and the jowls slowly fade. The fighter's face softens, and what's left is just him, your boy, the one who curls up on your chest and makes that low, steady rumble you can feel more than you can hear. Here's the last thing I want to leave you with. Research into feline behavioural genetics shows that a male cat's personality, his boldness, his sociability, his particular way of being in the world, has a strong inherited component passed down through the paternal line. He carries his father's temperament whether he ever met him or not. But here's what that research can't capture. The version of him that exists in your house, in your specific life, with your particular rhythms and sounds and routines, that version only exists because of you. You shaped that. The safe, warm, fed, curious, slightly ridiculous creature watching you from across the room right now, you built that. He came wired for connection. You gave him someone to connect to.